I have had at least 40 messages in the DMs over the last week. Hi YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Now, Instagram engagement is something that I bang on about all the time. I am a big believer in prioritizing daily proactive engagement, i.e. going out there and chatting with your community and potential new customers and clients if you want to grow your community, grow your business and grow your bottom line on Instagram. But I thought, why not put my money where my mouth is and actually set myself a challenge to show you guys how effective or not this strategy is. So in this video, I have decided that I'm going to spend the next 7 days spending half an hour every single day, 30 minutes every day, doing this, engaging with my community and potential new customers and clients. Now, what that 30 minutes a day is going to look like is it's going to happen at 8:30 a.m. every single day, my time, which is UK time. I'm going to spend 10 minutes of the 30 minutes engaging with my existing community, and then I'm going to spend 20 minutes going out and finding potential new customers and clients. Now, bearing in mind, I am an Instagram marketer and coach. That is how I work with my clients. So I am going to be looking for people that could fit my ideal client profile, that do fit my ideal client profile. And so that is going to be the goal. My goal a day is to follow 25 new people and obviously engage on those 25 new people's accounts, leaving them comments, sending them DMs, watching their stories. I'm not going to be doing any sleazy sliding into the DMs talking about my business or what I offer, but if it's appropriate to send a DM off the back of a story, then I will do. And I'm going to take you along on this journey with me. Well, I think my biggest takeaway is that if you are willing to put the time and the energy into engaging every single day, you will see results. Ultimately, by the end of the week, I want to see how much the account has grown by, how it's affected my engagement, how many new conversations I'm having, and how I'm feeling generally about making this a part of my daily habit and daily routine. So I'm really excited to take you along on this journey with me. If you are new around here, hi, I'm Foxwell. I'm an Instagram strategist and educator that drops a brand new video to YouTube every single Friday. And if you are a returning subscriber, then it's great to have you here with me again. So without further ado, let's take you on this challenge with me, and I will report back in a week's time. Today is Thursday, so I'll report back next Thursday to give you an update on how this whole challenge has gone and what I think about it. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so we are on day 1 of this challenge. It is a little bit later than 8:30 in the morning. I think it's about 8:45, and I'm going to do my 30 minutes of proactive engagement. So as of today, I have 1,025 followers. I am following 400. And I will figure out what my current, if I'm going to include what my current engagement rate is as well in this challenge, and now versus the future, I'll put that on the screen as well. But those are my starting stats, and this is day 1. So let's go. Okay, so my alarm has just gone off, and that was 30 minutes of intentional, proactive engagement. Now, truth be told, I actually didn't follow as many people as I thought I would. I followed 16. So day 1, I've managed to follow 16 people, and I spent the first 10 minutes engaging with my own community and commenting on the content of the people that are already following me. And then I spent the other 20 minutes going out and finding new people to chat to and leave comments on their content. So the reason that I think I didn't get to 25 is because I'm very intentional with like finding the right people, making sure that they look like they could be my ideal client, and then actually taking the time to read their captions and leave 1 or 2 comments on their content. This isn't just a blitz of following people, because that doesn't build relationships. That's meaningless. That's just an attempt to build a following without doing it meaningfully. And that's not going to help me grow my business and grow my bottom line. So what I might try and do tomorrow is I might try and cut down a little bit of the community time, and then up the amount of time that I spend going out and finding new people, and then I might flip that the next day. So As the week continues, I probably won't speak to you as much as I am now, so that this video doesn't end up being really long, but you will see on the screen regardless the process that I take, how much time I spend doing community versus outbound engagement, and how many people I end up following. So yeah, let's crack on and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so it's actually evening now when I'm recording this because today has been a crazy day and meetings and things happening in the morning meant that I didn't get to do the engagement that I planned to do this morning at 8:30. Hopefully my mic is still in. Yep. So I'm going to do it now. I am going to do 15 minutes of community engagement and 15 minutes of outbound engagement. I've been mixing this up so far day to day because I want to make sure that I nurture my community as well as going out and finding new people to engage with. So that's what I'm doing today. Okay, so we are on Wednesday and I am now going to do 10 minutes of community engagement and 20 minutes of outbound engagement. It is about 8:40 in the morning, so I'm actually doing my engagement at the right time today, which is fantastic. So I'm going to do that now. And I've got my tea up there. I don't think you can see it, it's slightly out of view. So I'm going to put on some music and I'm going to start engaging. So wish me luck and see you in 30. So we've come to the end of the 7-day engagement challenge. And this is where I give you a bit of an update on how it went, how I'm feeling, what the results are. So let's dive into them. So over the last 7 days, I have increased in followers. I believe I had 1,025 followers to start with, but now I am at 1,100. And I believe I was following 400 accounts. I'm now following 527. So it's interesting to see that the amount that I've grown is reflected in the amount of accounts that I'm following, not like for like, but there is an increase in both things. Now, if we take a look inside my insights and have a look at what the activity is saying and the audience, so these numbers are slightly skewed because my insights is showing me what my analytics are like for the last week, but it's missed off 1 or 2 days from when I actually started this challenge. So the numbers are a little bit skew, but I'm going to have a look at my activity. So for over the last week or so, skipping out a couple of days either side, I have had 10 website clicks, 362 profile visits, and 2 emails. And my reach has been 533. And my impressions has been 3,781. Now, if we have a look at the content that I've shared, the content that I've shared has actually only been, I believe I've shared 2 posts, so 2 main feed posts over the last 7 days. So I find it quite interesting to see that my impressions and my reach that's actually not as high as it has been for me in the past because I haven't shared as much content as I usually do on my main feed. I have had at least 40 messages in the DMs over the last week. Now, of course, that is a big part of that is me going out and chatting to people, my existing community, also new people that I have followed, either because I really loved a post they shared or it was me replying off the back of one of their Instagram stories. But that's a great amount of conversation to be having in the DMs. So what are some of the things that I've learned? What are my takeaways from this challenge? Well, I think my biggest takeaway is that if you are willing to put the time and the energy into engaging every single day, you will see results. You will see the results in terms of people commenting on your content and chatting to you in the DMs. Obviously, you will see growth as well in terms of your follow account, but you will also just have more conversations. Remember, I was not only going out and engaging with new Instagram accounts, but I was also making sure that part of that daily proactive engagement was always me spending a bit of time chatting to my existing community. That's really, really important because if you can't convert the people that are already within your community, then you can't think that you're going to convert new people. So that's why it's really important not to get obsessed with growing your follower number, and instead to make sure you have a good balance of engaging with your existing community and the people that are already there rooting for you, as well as going out and engaging with people. Another thing I learned was that for me as a morning person, if I don't do that daily proactive engagement early on in the day, then it gets really, really difficult to make it happen later on in the day. So there were a couple of times this week when because of meetings, because of various things popping up, I didn't get to do it first thing in the morning. And it just got increasingly later and later in the day. And I was like, oh my God, I need to do this. And I then approached it with much less enthusiasm than I would have done had I done it first thing in the morning. So depending on what kind of person you are, whether you're a morning person, a night owl, make sure that you try to get this engagement done when you are at your best. Another thing I learned was that it is important to have a good feed prepared if you're going to go out and engage with people. Now, this doesn't mean you need to have a picture perfect grid, not by any stretch of the imagination. All it means is that you want to make sure you have a few great pieces of content that really sell what you do, so that when you're going out and engaging with people, especially new people, they are coming back, checking out your Instagram account and thinking, wow, this account is really serving loads of value. The content is really speaking to me. And they get to know you by seeing images of you and also seeing images of either your product or your service, and also seeing that valuable educational or informative or inspiring content. So I made sure that I did have a grid that was full of helpful, valuable IGTVs, as well as some shareable graphics, as well as some images of me. So it is important that you do have that content diversity and you do have a good, solid amount of content that is going to convince someone to follow you, because it's all very well me going out and engaging with new people, but if they had come back to my Instagram account and seen either a really just messy grid with loads of different content that didn't match in any way, lots of different fonts and colors and images, or if they came back and just weren't enamored with the content because it was just me being a billboard, just me selling my products. It wasn't me catering to the different reasons that people come to Instagram, which is to be inspired, informed, educated, and to learn about people's products and services, then they wouldn't have followed me. So that is really important to remember, that if you're going to go out and engage with people, make sure that when they have a quick glance at your Instagram account, that it's really going to convince them to hit follow. My final takeaway, and something I really want to share with you, is that when you are doing this daily proactive engagement, it really is about the long game. And I really, really encourage you to do it. Now, I did this for 7 days solid, 7 days in a row. And in real life, in my real day-to-day business working life, I don't always do this on the weekend, but I do make sure that as much as possible, I factor it into my Monday to Friday schedule. The reason being is that I'm not doing it because I am trying to necessarily grow a huge amount. In fact, when I do this day to day in my business, I don't have a set amount of people that I want to follow. And in fact, as you saw with this challenge, I didn't manage to follow 25 people every single day because it just wasn't possible. And I didn't beat myself up about that, because I was doing a really good spread of engaging with my community and new people. And I followed as many as I could in the time, and that was enough for me. But what's important to know is that this is the long game. When you are engaging with your community, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to have loads of people clamoring to buy your products and services that same day or that same week, but it's you putting in the work of building relationships that are going to last and are going to develop over time. Some of the people that I'm working with right now are people that I was commenting on, DMing, and have been chatting with for months, in some cases years. And that might feel overwhelming and a bit demoralizing, but it isn't if you make sure you factor this engagement in every single day, or as much as you can. Because what you may not realize is that you really are setting the foundations for a long-lasting relationship that is very likely to turn into business a little bit further down the road. And if it's something that you neglect, then you may be wondering why you're not getting more business through Instagram. It isn't enough just to share great content on Instagram anymore. You have to be proactive with your engagement. The Instagram algorithm values relationships, and that looks like commenting on people's content, sending them DMs, watching their stories, and just being a real, interested, curious human being in other people. and if you're a business or brand, in your ideal customers and clients. The more you do this and the more frequently you do this, the more likely you will see these relationships grow and develop and turn into sales. That's all for this week's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspired you to factor daily proactive engagement into your routine as often as you can. It's so crucial to your Instagram strategy. Great content is one part of it, and then going out and being engaging and an interested, curious Instagrammer is the other, if you want to use Instagram to grow your business. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it drops every single Friday. If you'd like to get your hands on any freebies that I have created, then check out the description box below, and there's also links to other videos all about Instagram marketing. I will see you next week for a brand new video. Thank you for watching. Bye.